Hello, hello, hello. I am live. I'm coming to you live across three spaces tonight because I just wanted to make sure I get the information out to everybody and so that you know what's going on.
Oh,
Great.
I am live.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Turn it down. Okay. So, yes. So you're on MySpace, but let me introduce myself. I am Yvette McQueen, MD, an emergency physician. What am I? Oh, emergency physician, travel doctor, and wellness lifestyle coach. A global physician on a mission to educate about health, travel, wellness, and disease prevention. So, my passions are medicine and travel, and I've merged the two. And I'm a travel concierge physician where I assist travelers like you and professionals and executives to stay healthy and safe while they're traveling, either pre travel, during their travel, or even post travel, because there's post travel illnesses. And I do that by my concierge medicine practice, by my books, and also by my talks, being a speaker and telling you great tips like I am today. So I was actually on a podcast. Thank you for coming. Come on and join. Those of you throw in comments. If you have comments and you have questions, I'll take those too. Make sure I turn on my comment stream. So I was on a podcast a couple days ago and I was talking about travel and upcoming travel and I was all excited. I loved it and I talked about it. I said, wait a minute, I haven't talked about travel in a while. It's been a while. I did give earlier this year. Yeah, well, last year too. I was giving monthly traveling during the pandemic reports, and it just everything seemed the same, but things are starting to change again. So I wanted to come to everybody and talk to you about traveling during the pandemic, summer 2021 edition. So a lot has changed over the last year. I was giving it every month last year, up until maybe November, December. And that's why I wanted to come to you again today. Wow, has things changed? So if you have comments, you have questions, throw them in. I'm looking at all my screens here, so I'll try to grab them as they come. So, what is traveling like going to be like this summer? It's going to be very interesting because guess what? The pandemic is still here. I'm just going to go out there right now. So, the whole description coronavirus is the virus. That's the actual virus that invades your body. COVID-19 is the disease, which is a syndrome. So, coronavirus will cause um, COVID-19 is symptoms. Some people get symptoms, some people don't. Okay. But the pandemic, which means is across the world, is still going on and it's still rampant. It has its surges, ups and downs. Right now, it's kind of leveling out in the United States, which is great in some places in Europe. But of course, as you watch the news, it's rampant in India right now and a few other countries. So until it becomes an endemic like the influenza, where we have it under control, it's still a pandemic. So the pandemic is still there. And there's vaccines. There are several vaccines out in the United States. The approved vaccines are the Pfizer vaccine, the Moderna vaccine, and the J&J vaccine. There are plenty of people that are what we call fully vaccinated, which means if you have the Pfizer and the Moderna, you've had two, and the J&J, you've had one, and you've waited 2 weeks after your last injection, you are considered fully vaccinated. So, guess what? Today, the CDC came out with new rules about the mask wearing. First of all, I'm going to preface with the mask. If you want to wear a mask and you feel more comfortable and safe wearing masks, you should wear a mask no matter whose rules it are. Because guess what? People were wearing masks before the pandemic. People that had low immune system, cancer patients, things like that, they were wearing masks. I had friends that always wore masks when they traveled, no matter what, because of their immune system. So, okay, it's okay to wear a mask if you don't let anyone guilt you and feeling that you shouldn't wear a mask if you that makes you feel comfortable and safe to move about the world. Okay? All right. Anyway, so the CDC did come out that fully vaccinated people, so fully vaccinated people can gather together with other vaccinated people particularly people they trust. And I tell that people they trust, they know the patterns, they know how they're socializing. And you now can gather outside in small groups of other vaccinated people. They're saying if you're still in large groups like concerts and church, you should still wear your mask. If you're still eating indoors, you still wear your mask at indoor activities like that. Of course, you can't eat and drink with your mask on. So, of course, outdoor eating, drinking, I'm still participating in. And luckily, I live in a state that's nice and warm. I can still do that. Summer 2021. Can you travel? Yes. Yes, you can travel. And they're saying like millions of people going through TSA every day, and people are traveling. They're not waiting for summer vacation anymore. Believe it or not, since most children are still virtual, and I'll say 50% of the children are virtual, people are taking their children saying, let's go. You can do it in a hotel or wherever you're at. You can do your virtual lesson there. Now it's virtual. So people aren't waiting to actually June or July to go vacation, and they're working from home. They can work virtual as long as you're still in the United States, because that IP address can get you in trouble. So if you try working out of the country and your job is looking the IP address you're coming from, that can get you in trouble. So be careful about that. So, uh, number one thing you should do as far as if you're planning a vacation or traveling this summer is your planning. That's the key word, planning. So I tell people, look at the destination you're going to, whether it's in the United States or internationally. Look at the destination. What are the requirements? Even some state, from state to state, have different requirements. You got to realize state to state have different requirements. So what are the requirements of the destination you're going? What are the, especially if you're thinking about not wearing a mask somewhere, what is the COVID infection rate? So think of, at certain times in the country, the one state was high and another state was low. You may want to consider that. If they have a high infection rate, that may not be the time to visit that area. And you look at it, they say usually 10% or less is a good place that it's okay or safe to. That doesn't mean you won't get it, but that just means their infection rate is lower. So you need to research your site, research activities. I mean, if you're going to Disneyland, Disney World, whichever one, make sure it's open, make sure that you know the hours. um, make sure you know that you have to make reservations in advance. Make sure if some places are only taking season ticket holders. Those are things you just research. You can't say, oh, I'm going to go and go get a hotel and we're going to go like we used to. You can't do it anymore because they're only letting so many people in the parks, Universal Studios, things like that. So make sure you're researching things. Make sure you take things with you that's going to make you comfortable and safe. If it's this cleaning, whether cleaning wipes, towels, Clorox wipes, Lysol, and they're available now. I know last year this time you couldn't find it, right? Um, Take it with you and make sure that it's all packable. Now, some things are not packable, so you can't pack those aerosol cans on the plane. No, that can't go in the check-in luggage. You can't do that. So make sure it's packable. This is the summertime. The mosquitoes are out. The mosquitoes are already out, okay? Because I know the mosquitoes got me the other night. It was in my car, and I was like, get out my car. I don't want to get bit. So the mosquitoes are out. So that's not, so you got to think, yes, COVID is out there or coronavirus is out there. That's the only thing we should be worried about, okay? So the mosquitoes are out and they're around. The winter was not that cold, and so the mosquitoes are out. So it's the summer. Make sure you are packing mosquito repellent, whether you believe in the DEET 25%, or whether you're going with all natural with the lemon eucalyptus oil. Make sure you are taking a mosquito repellent and bug repellent with you, because it's the summer. It's the summer. Those are things you need to consider packing. Other things to consider packing that would keep you healthy and safe is shower shoes. Shower shoes or swim shoes. Even if you're on the beach, sometimes you can be on the beach and The rocks will cut your feet. The jellyfish will sting you if they're in the sand and you don't see them. So I promote wearing swim shoes. So swim shoes that you can, and it just and the sand can be very hot, and that can burn your feet, and you can get blisters on your feet. So make sure you do that. Thank you everybody that's putting like the comments in there. I appreciate that. So make sure you're doing that. Those are the things that you need to pack. Just regular summer stuff. I know you're thinking, oh, coronavirus, COVID, other stuff around that will get you. Okay. Let's talk about the airlines. The airlines, if you flying. So some of the things that you need to consider when you're flying, they're about back up to 70% pre-COVID level, but some of the amenities and services are not. So when you go in, you park your car, the park and ride, they're not all available. So I tell everybody I'm here in Atlanta, and I was so used to doing a park and ride, get on a shuttle, they drop me right off. No, those park and ride parking lots are still not open. Come on, Atlanta, open those. I hope you're listening to me. So either you park way, way off property, or you parking right at the terminal, which the economy is always full. And so you got to park in the garage. I mean, there's times I've had to drive around for a half an hour looking for a parking lot, even like on the top deck. So make sure you are considering your parking situation. If you're not being dropped off or taking Uber, where you're going to park. It may take a while. So plan that in your time getting to the airport. Plan it in your time going through TSA. The best times to fly, and I'm just being honest with you, between Tuesday and Thursday, and on Saturdays between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. That's because early morning, most people try to get those early flights because they say, I get a 7 a.m. flight, I can be there at my resort or wherever, enjoy the rest of the day. Well, guess what? You can't check in till 3 o'clock anyway. You really can't. And they're really being stingy about early check-in. Trust me on that one. So you can't check in. So the 7 a.m. flights are usually for the business people. They're full. It's a lot of people. And a lot of families do the Sunday to Sunday. So that's why Saturdays are usually open free and Tuesday to Thursdays are usually open. So if you wanted some off times to fly, consider that and just breeze through TSA. Try to take as less as possible through TSA with you. Just check a bag. Just check it. It's so much easier than you're not lugging it. You're not lugging it on the flight. You're not sitting, and flight attendants can no longer touch your bag or help you put it up. So you're on your own. So don't overpack. Trying to get it on. When you're getting on the plane, I tell people try to get on first or try to get on last. Most of the planes are boarding from the back to the front, which is like wonderful. Why weren't you doing this years ago? Okay, so that people aren't like in the aisle. They're boarding from the back to the front. So, so you will have space wherever you're at for your bag. So you're not taking your bag and going all the way back, finding space. Space is going to be up front for you if you got overhead. So yeah, that's what they're doing. Now, people feel that they need to wear their bunny suit. No, you don't need to wear a bunny suit because we found out a few months after this all happened that it's not contact, it's airborne. So you don't need to wear a bunny suit or the hazmat suit while you're flying. I don't even wear a face shield anymore, but yes, I am fully vaccinated, but I will double mask just because I don't trust people. People come on still coughing and sneezing and wearing their mask under their nose. Hello, people, coronavirus, where do they test you? Up your nose. Guess what? That needs to be covered, your nose. So I wear a double mask when I'm on a plane. But I do the same thing I was doing pre-COVID. So, with me as an emergency physician traveling around the country, I traveled almost every week. So I always had to stay healthy. So even before COVID, I got on a plane and wiped down the contact surfaces, the arm rails, the buttons, the monitor, the seat belt, the tray. Those used to be some nasty places. Well, the planes are doing very good about cleaning. I will give them credit on that because now I wipe and see nothing. I was like, oh, this is great. This is great. So those are what I do normally. Now you can't eat and drink on a plane, and they're restarting services as far as giving you the mini cokes and the coffee and all that. And they say you can take it off, but you're supposed to wear your mask in between your sips and in between your bite. What I usually do is if I have my mask there, I just go from underneath, so that, well, guess what's still covered? The nose. Yep, the nose. So be prepared for that. Let's see. Lodging, hotels, and Airbnb, whatever you choose, that's up to you. So Airbnb hotel. So let me tell you what hotel I've stayed in both during the pandemic, early pandemic, mid pandemic, and now. So the hotels, they're using hospital grade cleaning. They all got together. They're pretty good at that. I'm very happy with that. A lot of the hotels are putting stickers on the room after they've been cleaned to show that no one else has entered in the room from the cleaning process. I go in and wipe down the high contact areas that I always do. High contact areas, the remote, and some of them are even bagging them a remote in plastic, which is good. But the remote, the doorknobs, the bathroom, the light switches, the telephone, those are where I do the high. But I was doing this pre-COVID anyway. The They are not doing room service every day. A lot of the chains are not. They're saying if you stay more than 3 days, they'll come and change the sheets. They'll give you extra towels. You call for it. It's more of a drop and go. Hey, can I get something? They'll drop it outside, knock on your door, and they're gone. Uh, Room service. Some of the hotels are restarting room service, bringing it into your room, but most of them still is in a package, and you can order it, and they'll bring it to you, and you have to bring it into your room. Basically, they are starting to open some of their restaurants, but most of the time it's still to go. Especially the ones at buffets are out. So if you go into the Hampton Inns or the Residence Inns and all that, no buffets, but they do have the breakfast to go where you can pick it up and go. And that's even too with the if you're in the airport and any of the airport lounges, most of the food are to go is no longer open food that you have. So just know that. Airbnbs, the same thing. They have the cleaning process. Most Airbnbs, the rule, and make sure they're doing it, the rule was there's supposed to be more a 24-hour turnaround between people. So you can't leave that morning and then someone else check in that afternoon. That's what Airbnbs used to do because they would clean. There's supposed to be a 24-hour turnaround. And you can question the person. When was the last time you had a guest here? We'll make sure there's a 24-hour turnaround in your Airbnb. Airbnb, I just take my normal cleaning supplies and wipe down the contact areas, and investigate it. So that it's usually a high, what they say, super host. What And I shouldn't just say Airbnb, any of the vacation stays, VRBO, especially if you have a family. So if you have a big family and you don't want to rent 5 or 6 rooms, you can rent a house that has 5 or 6 rooms. And vacation rental by owner, Airbnb, and there's a few other ones out there. So you can investigate it and plan ahead for that. What I do want you to plan ahead is car rentals. Okay, so with the travel being down for like 6 or 7 months, the car rental agency sold off their cars. They sold off about 50% of the fleet. And so now things are ramping up and people want to rent cars. Guess what's not available? Cars. And even if people are making reservations and they're going and they're still not having cars and they have to wait. So I was never a proponent of prepay. I probably would suggest prepay to know that you're gonna have a car. They're giving the cars to the people that have prepay, and if you just making regular reservations, you may be out of luck. Okay. Even I know someone that was on Maui in Hawaii last week. They said Maui had got rid of all their cars. There was no car rentals on the island. So question ahead. Even talk to the hotel if you're checking into a hotel or you're or if you're using a travel agent, have them find out what is the rental car status if you plan to have a rental car wherever you're going. Or if you plan to have a rental car, a lot of people rent cars just to take their family vacations instead of putting mileage on your own car. You need to plan that ahead right now, right now, right now. So that you can have your car available. And once again, they're cleaning the cars. They even left me like single package Kleenex wipes and say it was cleaned by, and they are clean because these rental cars, they used to turn around. Oh, they was nasty too, but but they're clean now because I'm wiping on the steering wheel. Oh, nothing coming off. The gear shift and the key fob and all that. They're clean. The seat belt, they're clean. So, and they're vacuuming them out, and I'm not finding used pop bottles or soda bottles under the seat that used to be there. They're cleaning. They don't even have sand on them anymore. They're cleaning them. So, this is just, I mean, one thing I would say the pandemic has had the travel industry clean now. Clean, clean, clean. Yeah, some people say they don't even have the cleaning people. The cleaning people won't come in your room in the hotel, um, and with you in it, actually. So, with me, I used to not have them come in if I had like a little stay, 4 or 5 day stay, because that's me. But some people like to clean sheets and clean towels every day. Have them come in if you want to, but they won't come in if you're in the room. That's the one thing. All right. Planning your family vacation. You say, oh, we're going to do car travel. So you're not going to do the air. You're going to do the car travel. Well, make sure if you're not renting a car, your car is maintenance. You have up-to-date maintenance. Is your oil change or your transmission oil good? Are there any leaks? Are there any leaks in the tire? Make sure you're checking that. And have a road service plan if you plan on traveling away from your home. I mean, because you never know what's going to happen. Of course, run out of gas, but you never know when you're going to run over some tire goes and you need something fixed or something. Just engines break. They're machines. They break. So make sure you have a road service, whatever road service you decide to have for that. In your car, you want to pack snacks and water, always water, especially in the summertime. Remember, you got to have water, hydration, hydration, hydration. You got to have water. Make sure you're stopping every 2 to 3 hours and stretching your legs so you don't develop your blood clots. And that's why you want to stay hydrated. Because if you're sedentary for more than 2 hours, you can increase the thickness of your blood and get blood clots. Same thing with your flights. If you're on a flight more than 2 hours, you should get up and move around. Or they have what they call the leg stretches, where you're doing the toe touches, toe crunches, and things like that, and stretching those calf muscles. Okay, but stay hydrated. Hydration will reduce your risk of blood clots. Not take it away, but reduce the risk of blood clots. So you're in a car, pack your water and your snacks. The sun is going to be out. Make sure you packing your hats for your adventures, being out, and whether you're hiking or in the park or wherever, or on the beach. Make sure you're packing a hat. Make sure you're packing your shades. Make sure your glasses are either tinted or shades so that they cover UAV and UVA and UVB, okay? Because you can burn your eyes. So make sure you get that. You get sunburn there. Make sure you're taking your sunscreen, okay? Taking your sunscreen where you got to put your sunscreen on 20 minutes before you're exposing yourself to the sun and let it sink in. Put it on top of your head. If you have some baldness, put it on your ears, the back of your neck. If you're in and out the water, reapply. Make sure you're doing that. Okay, your car. So things that you should take in your car. Again, one thing I do tell people in their car, take a bright cloth, whether it's a fluorescent pink, yellow, white. So if something does happen and you need to pull over, get stopped, you tie it to the hood, antenna, whatever you can, trunk, something, so that it flags people that you need assistance. If you're national parks, so I want to talk about national parks. People really got into it last year, when they couldn't do other vacations, but national parks and RVing. The national parks, make sure you're checking ahead. This is the planning again. The national parks are getting booked up. The spaces you have to you have to reserve your space if you have RV. So make sure you're reserving those spaces. National parks, if you go in there, make sure you know the times of the hours, because the hours are still abbreviated. Find out when they're open. They may not be open all weekends because they just don't have the staff. Find out what the cost is, because not all national parks are free. If you plan on going to more than two national parks this summer, I would suggest you getting a national park pass. That would be very, very helpful. For senior citizens and military is usually free. Or some of the parks you also can get a discount with like AAA or AARP. So, and a lot of tickets around and activities, make sure you say, is there a discount? So you say, is there a AAA discount? And hotels give AAA discounts. Is there AARP discount? Hotels give that too. Is there a military discount? Especially in the high military areas like, the Hampton Roads, Newport News area where there's like multiple bases. Ask for a military discount for different things. Make sure you're doing that. So make sure, and when you're hiking, come on, people. So this is another thing you pack. You need to pack a medical kit. I'm a doctor. You need to take a medical kit, because when you're hiking, you get stung, you get scratches, you need Band-Aids. You never know what's going to happen. Make sure you have a mini medical kit with you. Whether some people have the car one, the little small one they can put in a backpack, things like that. Make sure you're not hiking alone or by yourself, that someone knows where you're at and when you're supposed to return. You're out there hiking and you get stung by a snake and you left there and you don't show up for hours later. Someone needs to know where to find you. Did you hear the recent story of the guy that was hiking and he got lost and couldn't figure out where he was at? And his phone was going dead, and he sent a picture by social media, and they geotagged it and found him that way. Okay, so, and there's a lot of places out there if you go hiking, especially in the mountains. It's still in the United States. So United States that don't have phone service. So make sure someone knows where you're going and what time you're supposed to be back, so they can start looking for you. So those are the things you need to be careful about this summer. Of course, the medical things I talked about, of course, you watch for blood clots. Okay, you're traveling, you're sitting still for more than 2 to 3 hours at a time. You want to move those legs. You want to stay hydrated. You're not used to the sun. If you're not used to being on the sun all the time, it can zap you, especially from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That sun can zap you. Make sure you stay hydrated. If you're out on the beach, try to stay covered and only be in that sun at 20-minute implements. Okay. Sunscreen, make sure you're using sunscreen. I said apply it 20 minutes before you go into the sun so that the skin can absorb it. Other things you need to watch for if you're going bike riding, that's bicycle. Bike riding, using a scooter, anything like that, I suggest you wear your helmet, because when your head contacts with the concrete, nothing is guaranteed. We don't want you to be doing that. Okay. So make sure you're wearing a helmet to protect your head. And they even skin pads on your elbow and knees. But definitely when you're bike riding, please wear a helmet, because sometimes cars are just not paying attention. Children in parks and trampolines. I talked about this last year. Please be careful. Those trampolines, people, is not recommended by the American Academy of Pediatrics or Orthopedics. Okay. I see a lot of arm injuries and leg injuries and broken bones off of trampolines. Make sure there is adult supervision if they are on trampolines. Make sure you watch children in fire. Okay, a fire, 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 fire. So I'm kind of mixing this up, travel and summer precautions, right? Fire, whether you're grilling out, it's a 2 feet rule. Keep those 2 years old 2 feet away. Grilling out, fire pits on the beach, people like that at roasting marshmallows. Please be careful. If you're swimming, do not swim alone. Don't swim alone. Once again, like not hiking alone. Someone needs to be there. Make sure you know what the emergency flag is, whether it's yellow, red, green is good to go into the water. Make sure that someone knows how to swim there with you, knows how to save you if you don't know how to swim. My suggestion, if you don't know how to swim, put your feet in the water, touch it, and walk away. Don't go up chin high and you don't know how to swim, because those waves come and take you away. So just it's just common sense during the summer. But that's traveling during the summer edition. Traveling during the pandemic, summer edition 2021. Not much has changed except for wearing the mask. Wearing the mask. You can be vaccinated people, can be around other vaccinated people without masks. They still suggest you wear a mask indoors. As of May, all planes are full. There's no middle seat open. That's gone. It was a great experience, but it's gone now. Money rules. Uh, so that's what's different. Continue to wash your hands. Take hand sanitizer if you're not available to wash your hands. But you know, the nuances about the hotels and the car rentals, those are a little bit different. And knowing, just plan ahead, because a lot of things still are not available or still kind of limited. So you want to plan ahead. That's my summer edition for traveling, and I hope you enjoyed that. I do want to let you know, all my travelers out there, I'm starting a travel newsletter. It's going to come out every last Tuesday of the month. That's today, so it'll come out later on tonight. And let's see, let me pull this up. If you want to sign up on the list to get the travel newsletter each month, this is in place. I'm no longer going to be doing traveling during the pandemic. So my healthy travel guide tips is going to be whatever the season is. Right now, my season healthy travel tips actually will tell you about summer care tips, some of the things I just told you. So this is replacing the traveling during the pandemic. So Travelpedia, that's, you know, my old book. Let me see. Travelpedia, you know, my book. So Travelpedia, travelguide.com. Go on there, sign up, and you will get on the travel report newsletter, and I'll send it out each month. You can do that. All right. I want you to do that. And I will also, don't tell anybody, because I'm not supposed to be telling anybody. My publisher said, not yet. I'm just being hard-headed, but I'm just so excited. Anyway, I have a new book coming out. So my old book, Travelpedia, a guide on how to travel efficiently, healthy, and safely. It's still good. It's great. It's getting the person from the couch to the passport. Give you some great information. The new book is called Travel 911. See it? Travel 911. Let me take this off so that, because that was in it. Yeah, hide that. Travel. That's the new book coming out. Yeah, talking to the publisher maybe next month. It's all written. My part is done. I wrote it. So Travel 911, a health guide for adventures. And this one, of course, tells you what to pack, medical, and other things, but also it really tells you about travel related health problems, from jet lag. You know, that's the usual travel diarrhea, but it's also going to tell you about, you know, high altitude sickness, and not only tell you about it, but give you preventative measures. And if something happens, this is what you should do. I mean, it's telling you, and it gives you a first aid chapter. Hiking in the woods, you know, hiking in the woods, and you twist your ankle, you're not around anyone, you have cell service. What do you do to support your leg? Take a magazine and 2 twigs and put a belt or scarf around it to make a splint. Those type of things it's going to tell you. So that's why I'm so excited about this number one. So you can actually pre-order it. Yes, you can pre-order it. Shh, don't tell the publisher. But but you can pre-order Travel 911. And it's travel911book.com. You know, I'm inventive. Keep the name simple, right? But so that's why I'm excited. So yeah, sign up for my newsletter. Pre-order the Travel 911 book is coming out just in time for the summer. And I'm gonna keep telling you about travel, you know, my passion. So next month, this month, I've really been talking about it was stress awareness month for April. And of course, travel is a great way to decrease your stress. Because I looked at it as like, yes, I've been traveling for work, but I haven't had a vacation. And I'm watching like all these people like, oh, I'm finally flying. I'm finally going here. I'm finally on vacation. I'm like, wait a minute. I think I need a vacation too. You know, I've been doing family things, running here, running there, but like, I need a vacation. I need me time, stress awareness. But anyway, next month topic will be travel wellness. Okay. So merging travel and wellness. And there's a way to have travel and incorporating wellness, not only health issues, but wellness into your travel. Travel wellness destinations, wellness tourism is a hot area of travel right now. So I'm just going to be discussing all that next month. So that's next month's topic. So keep following me. You know where to follow me, Yvette McQueen, MD. You're on my sites. Yvette McQueen MD, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. Of course, on Instagram, I am Dr. Travel 911. Yes. And the website, of course, YvetteMcQueenMD.com. If you can't figure out anything else, just remember Yvette McQueen MD. That's who I am. So I hope you enjoyed it and got some good information. And just send me a message or some questions if you have questions about any of the summer edition travel tips. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great night. Peace and love for now. Pre order that book, okay? Ciao.